Hi, my name is Jafarova Hilola Xalimovna. I'm a teacher of Tourism and Economics faculty, Tourism and Hotel Management Department. Let's start our today's lesson. Our theme is conservation and promotion of cultural heritage using digital technologies. As we know, we are rapidly growing in using digital technologies as is being important part of our life. And conservation of cultural heritage is mostly depend on our society and government also. Today's plan is the first one is what is conservation of cultural heritage, its role and promotion of cultural heritage, digitization of cultural heritage. The next one is digital twin technology. We will see about the concept of it. The last one is resident support position of conservation of historical centers and their role. What is conservation of cultural heritage? The conservation of cultural heritage refers to the measures taken to extend the life of cultural heritage while strengthening transmission of its significant heritage message and values. Also, it is the dominant of cultural property. The aim of conservation is to maintain the physical and cultural characteristics of the object to ensure that its value is not diminished and that it will be outlive our limited time span. The next one is the conservation of cultural heritage as a distinct field of study initially developed in Germany, where in 1888 by Friedrich Resken became the first chemist to be employed by a museum, the Königlichen Museum in Berlin. He has not only developed a scientific approach to the care of objects in the collections, but also disseminated this approach by publishing a handbook of conversation in 1898. The early development of conservation of cultural heritage in any area of the world is usually linked to the certain of position, creation of position for chemists within museums. In the United Kingdom, pioneering research into painting materials and conservation ceramics and stone conservation was conducted by Arthur Pillens Laurie, academic chemist and principal of Harriet Watt University from 1900. Laurie's interests were fostered by William Holman Hunt. The next heritage has been described as a fingerprint of our generation. It shows us how our ancestors lived their world, their life, and their position of how they became this kind of people. They show by their buildings, cultural heritage, historical centers also, and it refers to any prominent destination or object which is to be passed on to the future generations. As we know, without history, the future cannot be built. While over the years, the term heritage has been used only to refer to the transfer of something from one generation to another. Heritage is actually of two types, natural heritage and cultural heritage. Natural heritage comprises everything that comes in the biological sphere, including flora, fauna, geological formation, and others. Cultural heritage, on the other hand, is the legacy that is inherited from our ancestors, maintained in the present and passed on to the future generations for their benefit. For any nation, cultural heritage has always held an important place, which kept in itself the great history of the nation and the people of that time. The next one is, let's see about heritage cycle. What is it? The heritage cycle, originally created by Simon Sursley and developed by Culture and Development Company. Like here you can see cultural heritage. It comes from enjoying. People go there and see and look uh, about the culture they are living in. It comes first to understand, and after they start to understanding the places, the things which they are looking, seeing, they will start valuing it, and after by valuing, they will want to care for it. Care for it, it means they want to bring it to the next generation to show their ancestors' deeds. And the first is by caring, also, we scanned it. And as we see, cultural heritage is divided into two, like tangible elements of cultural heritage and intangible elements of cultural heritage. Let's see about tangible elements of cultural heritage. It includes art and artifacts, clothing, food, physical spaces, products, agriculture, landscapes, buildings, and photographs also. Intangible elements of cultural heritage include customs and traditions, values and beliefs, language, achievements, history, religion, activities, and skills. Here we can see the tangible elements, the things which we can see, touch, and physically it shows. Intangible, we cannot touch them, just we can see the customs, we can use the language, we can be in the religion and do some activities. It's not, how to say, it's not like touchable. And let's see about the value of cultural heritage. Cultural heritage is important because it's a core element of an individual's identity. Additionally, it increases feelings of belonging and access to groups or communities. It preserves history and culture also, and it's a direct connection to the past and individuals' ancestors. The next one is importance of promotion. Why do we need to promote our cultural heritage? Because doing it, we can, our country can even earn money, even cannot lose their wealthy history in the past. That's why it's important to promote our cultural heritage also. It has potential to promote access to and enjoyment of cultural diversity. It can also enrich social capital and create a sense of individual and collective belongings, which helps to maintain social and territorial cohesion. It can increase the flow of tourists to the country. As I told, economics will be rapidly grow. India is proud of locals, motivated to preserve cultural heritage. It means we and our children also start to be proud of our cultural wealth and show to the worldwide. How can we promote cultural heritage? There are some ways to promote the cultural heritage. Let's start from the first. It's to form a volunteer group, gather fellow residents who care about preserving your community's recent past places, working together. We can research and nominate buildings for landmark designation, become our community's advocate for the recent past and modern design also, create a website and maintain a discussion board and host tours and other special events can be held. The next is offer tours. We can do like make some tours, track and true method for building a community's appreciation for its historic resources. And scientific architecture put together bus tours that takes guests past modern structures throughout the neighborhood. Create a self-guided driving tour accompanied by a booklet that visitors and residents can continue to use, or set up those docent-led tours of buildings from the recent past. The host special events encourage the interest in mid-century architecture to connect with like-minded people. This can include fundraising events, special exhibits, complete with opening night parties and others that feature the architecture and modern heritage of your country, of our country, of a lecture series that features local historians, architects, or professors to speaking about the area's modern architectures also. The next is how can we promote, we will continue in the next two ways also we can do, like to submit a nomination to an endangered places list when a site is threatened by demolition, alteration, or neglect. Nominate it to a local organization's endangered list. This is an excellent way to generate publicity, raise awareness of certain modern and recent past places also, and explain to a broader audience why this type of places are significant. Conduct community workshops. It means workshop and seminars can be useful ways to get specific audience about buildings and cultural sites from the recent past. These classes can help teach participants the basic of historic preservation, gives them an overview of the history of post-war architecture, offer tips on how to identify threats or problems, find appropriate replacement materials to keep mid-century homes looking true to their original architecture, also and more. We can also contact a local preservation group for help or partnership opportunities. The next is digitization of cultural heritage. As we know, digitization is being rapidly increasing in our life, decreasing, and in some spheres like medical, educational, protectional, conservational spheres, it being really needable nowadays. And digitalization sounds technological state-of-the-art, heritage sounds archaic, old-fashioned, putting one together with the other and avoiding formal definitions. It is proposed to define digitization in this case as an incorporation of digital technologies. As you can see here, the types of so many types of digitization seems to can be done, like data analytics, virtual reality, robotics and 3D printing, HBIM, nanotechnology, and which we need is cultural heritage digitization. Nowadays is using digital twin technologies. The next one is, let's see about the digital twin technology, what it is. It is the present technology known as a digital twin technology, like DT, was the first introduced in 2002 by Michael Greaves. Digital technology definitions in prior research emphasize that each system consists of two systems, the physical system and a virtual system, which contains all of the information about the physical system. Digital twin is a promising technology used in cultural heritage preservation that allows for a complex interaction between actual physical objects and their virtual representations. Digital twin technologies can be shown as in three types. Like, first is a two-way data flow exists between the status of the physical object and the digital object for total integration. The next one is digital shadow. A one-way automatic data flow exists between the states of the existing physical object and the digital counterpart. The last one is digital model. No automatic data exchange of any form exists between the digital model and the physical object. The digital model is a digital representation of the physical object. Let's see about the usage of digital twin technology in Uzbekistan. Digital twin technology was used in Uzbekistan in the city of Bukhara for Ismail Samani Mausoleum, based on the grant project of the National Agency for the Development of Information Technologies of South Korea, totaling 150,000 digital copy of dollars for creating a digital copy of the Ismail Samani Mausoleum using digital twin technologies. Its 3D model and geographic data, which will be integrated into the Google Maps system. It means everybody can see the 3D model of the mausoleum from any point of the world, and it helps us to keep the mausoleum safe and sound in the digital programs. It means they put some showing boxes there. They can detect any problems of the mausoleum and can be solve the problems also. Digital technologies facilitate the process of conservation, presentation and promotion of cultural heritage. Their contribution has become an integral part in heritage management, hence their application is determined by the professional and ethical codes and frameworks that refers to every segment of the process, from preparation through creation to usage and management of digital objects. Integrity and value of digital object are based on verifiability of its credibility, integrity of the digital object, and by this, its value is achieved by implementation of professional principles in every phase of digitization of heritage documentation also. The next is the benefits of digital twin technologies. The first is accessibility of watching 3D model historical sites from any spots of the world, as I told before. The next is warns about any possible destruction of historic centers, and by adopting new digital technologies such as digital twin, historical centers can be conserved for the next generation. Let's see the benefits of digital twin technology broadly. The use of this technology in conservation of cultural heritage is largely determined by financial resource, heritage institutions' mission, and its status on the national level. So, experience and practice teach us about the importance of planning, conservation, and digitization. Planning for conservation includes defining priorities that are based on the value of heritage object, and its value influences not only decision whether the conservation treatment will be implemented or not, but also how it will be implemented. Resident supports position of conservation of historical centers. Without the support of the local residents, political leaders are certainly less willing to support the development of any new regional projects. That's why it's the main part of any programs that resident supports have the place to be done their work very successfully. Understanding the impacts of conservation and promotion Promotion Historical Center is also part of local community and their support in order to ensure the optimal outcomes of any future projects. The community supports influences tourism development also. And the next is let's finish our lessons for today. That resident support is the main part of any program to be held. Understanding the impacts of conservation and promotion historical center is also a part of local community and their support in order to ensure the optimal outcomes of any future programs. It is widely accepted in the relevant literature that promotion of cultural heritage generates economic, social, cultural, and environmental impacts. First, promotion and conservation of historical centers is a tool for economic regeneration of an area, given that it is perceived to attract a number of visitors. Thank you for your attention. Bye.